Okay guys, so if you're shopping at Dollar Tree during the spring, make sure you go get yourself some of these bell cloches. They are putting these out for the spring, and sometimes you can find them in early summer, and they have these little deals there for setting over your plants to kind of keep them warm, and they have these little closures so that you can, vent the plants, but I usually like to take that off. But I did notice that they had these available already this spring, so go get you some of these. These are going to be awesome for your Halloween crafts. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. So I picked that up. I've already taken this little plastic thing here. It just pops right out, and then you're left with that. And I picked some of these up for Halloween last year. You could use whatever you wanted. So we're going to make a cool little cloche, and he's going to have a little scenery. I picked this up last Halloween, but you could use any candle holder. This is how it was supposed to go, but this is actually wider than this part, so I'm going to flip it upside down, and I really like that I'll be able to see this detail as well. So yeah, we're going to use it like that. Alright, now when peeling this off, slow and steady wins the race. Make sure you keep everything supported, because these are quite thin. I'm just going to very slowly peel this off. Okay, you guys gotta excuse the craft mess on my desk. I have like 4 projects going at a time here. But I finally got the label off of this thing. Is it perfect? No. Does it have scratches? Does it have like weird shapes to it? Yes. Because, it's cheap. It's thin plastic, very thin plastic. But is it really cool? Is it going to add some lovely flair to your Halloween decor? Absolutely, because, cloches are not cheap. Cloches are kind of expensive, and this gives you a large bit of bang for your buck. So that's why I'm going with this, and, hopefully it'll just be something that sits there and looks pretty. So what I've got it setting on down here is just a plate. This is a dollar store plate. It's a seconds. Yeah, I'm going to set that there. And like I said, you can use one of these guys. But I actually think that this one looks better. Actually got this at the Dollar Tree in their $3 section last year. So I think he's going to look even better, because look how cool he looks. He's so awesome. Very cool. Alright, so I've just pulled the sticker off of that. It helps if you use a little bit of heat from my little heat gun. And I'm just going to flip this over. More stickers. More stickers! Alright. Now, I'm going to hot glue this. Now, this is actually the top where you put the candle. But I like this for a base for it because it's a little wider than this part here. And this has a much more flat surface. I can hot glue. Use the hot glue. Alright. Alrighty, I'd say that's on there pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Alright, so this is another dollar store plate. It's a saucer, and I'm just going to put it right in the middle there. First, I'm going to add some more glue. And that's on there. That's pretty good, just enough to keep it from sliding around, really. This is something that won't be really messed with, hopefully. I wouldn't have this around kids or anything. If you want something lighter, they do have these plastic chargers, those things that go underneath the plates, and they're quite a bit bigger, but you know, they'll be a lot more lightweight. So that's what we've got so far. I put this in here because I want to raise the skull up into the cloche a little bit. Without it, it kind of sits kind of low. So and then that sits on there. All right. Yes, you're getting a full view of my mess. Oh, I've got that project and its parts are over there. I've got some woodworking projects. I got all kinds of stuff on this desk right now. Now then, for the top piece, to make this look more like a cloche, I actually last fall I went looking for containers that had like a a cool handle or something that would sit on here pretty good. I actually came to a thrift store where there was 2 of these. It was just the lids and they were $1 a piece, so I went ahead and grabbed both of them. I was like, yes, I will take that. I couldn't believe it was like the actual thing I was looking for. Like, how random and strange is that? Yeah, that's so funny. Now, if you didn't want to use something like that, they have these bugs at the Dollar Tree. Usually around the late summer to fall, they have them. I didn't see any. They might have them sooner than that, but I didn't see any, at least not at my local one recently. But I did buy this last fall and intended to use it on top of a cloche. So, you know, how cool is that with the big bug and everything on it? So, yeah, that's a totally cool way of making a handle for your cloche. You can just hot glue that onto the center there. I mean, your little holes will be obviously still be seen, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. The legs kind of cover it up when you put them to the side like that. So that could be a cool handle for a cloche. I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to clean it off a little bit and then I'm going to paint it black. Alright, so I'm going to use some of this glass paint. It's enamel glass paint by Folk Art. I'm just going to add a layer of that real quick. Okay, so I really like that Folk Art enamel glass paint. It does a very nice job of covering one coat, and it was a quick coat. And it dried pretty quickly, and it's looking really nice. I like how that turned out. That's awesome. So the main thing I'm going to have to try to do is make sure this is centered. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put hot glue around the edge, and then I'm going to use those holes in the bottom to kind of line up so that I can stick it down so that it's in the center for sure. So go ahead and do that here. Okay. Alrighty. There. Perfect. Awesome. Now I'm gonna let that dry. Alright, so now we got our stand, we got our cloche put together. What's next? So we're going to get some of this reindeer moss. They have this at the Dollar Tree. I also picked up some of this really cool textured brownish color at a thrift store last year. And so I'm going to be using a little bit of that, but mainly I want to get some of this in there to kind of cover up. So we don't want that showing, so we're going to cover it up a bit. And take this, I'm going to hot glue this down. Just cover that whole area there, so that when we set our skull on there, you know, it looks cool. We want it to look cool. Get some of that in there, and then I'll get some of this brown in there because it looks cool. Kind of pull it apart a little bit, let some of that texture show. Yeah. Some of that in there, and there. Take my hot glue gun and I'm going to glue all that down. Now normally you don't want your strings from your hot glue in there, but they look kind of cool. They look a little bit like spider webs over this moss, so you know, go for it. Okay, sufficiently spiderwebby and mossy, and now we're ready for our skull. And I'll probably end up replacing this skull with a different one. It's not my favorite finish, or I might just paint that one white. I really got it because it looked very realistic as far as form, and I'm thinking about making a mold of it. but yeah, I think painted white it'll look really cool. So we got that on there, and now we're gonna put our cloche down. And look at that, you guys. Doesn't that look cool? Yes. All right. So my other thought was to take those little styrofoam skulls, cut the backs off, and make a ring all the way around. I actually have those and to do that with, and I just haven't done it yet. And so that's probably going to be a little bit that I'll add this fall. But for right now, I just bent that little thing I found at a thrift store, and yeah, I love it. So make sure you guys go pick these up during the spring while they have those still available, because those are going to be handy for your Halloween crafting this year, so go get them now.